right, here we go. Another episode, Mixtapes and Tasty Cakes, episode 20. We reached the next digits in the roaring 20s now. So
yeah,
we're almost legal.
Yeah.
Hopefully the 20th episode isn't as bad as 2020.
Oof, this could be the cursed episode.
This could be.
So yeah,
wow, this could be.
So with that being said, we're doing cursed movies.
There we go. So we talk about the cursed movies, you know, all that devil stuff and spiritual stuff kind of plays in everything. So why not open up with the Omen? What do you got, Dane, for the Omen?
There's a few things. I mean, we all like that movie. I mean, it was pretty. It's still freaking creepy, like that, and the Exorcist, like still creeped the hell out of me. But whenever you're scrolling around with that devil shit, I'm sorry.
It happens, man. Yeah.
Yeah, weird shit happens. I don't know whether you believe it or not. I don't know, but just doing some research on these movies, like the scene with the baboons when they're in the car going through the drive-through zoo. That was all real.
It was real. It was crazy, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was all real. And the animal trainer, I think he signed off for the movie, and then he wound up dying.
Oh, really?
Yeah, before the movie started. So then they had some other guy. Obviously, he didn't train the baboons.
Wow.
And they just, they attacked the, all you saw in the movie, the car and everything. And then,
dude, yeah, that was a real scene.
Yeah,
that was a real scene, and so it's amazing that some of the stuff. It's like they kept some of the real footage in some of these movies, which is.
Oh yeah, I mean, yeah, you want that realism, I guess.
Yeah,
can't fake that. But also there was an airplane that was flying the crew over. I think that was struck by lightning like 3 times or something.
Crazy, man.
The decapitation scene with the the car and the plate of glass goes right through and chops the dude's head off. That was based on the special effects designer. I read that he was driving one day and a tire came crashing right through the window. I think that was after the movie or something.
It was after the movie, and what happened was that his wife died the same way as he wrote in the movie, where her head gets cut off. And
see, I heard it was the assistant director and it
was the special effects
director.
Yeah, special effects. But I think they were married. I think, or that was his girlfriend or something. They were together. Also, they said that there was a sign that they passed by that said Omen or something like that. It's like 6.6 something. Omen, which is
I guess it's a town in Europe or something. Yeah, I mean, if that shit doesn't creep you out, I don't know.
Yeah, I'm sure. I'm sure, man. It's some enough to say. I'm not going to finish this movie. Which, like, what was the Eddie Murphy line? White people go in a house that's haunted and be like, oh wow, this is get out. Nah, it's a nice house. Black people go in. Honey, this is a beautiful house. Wonderful house. We want to be here forever. Get out. Sorry, we can't stay. Eddie Murphy's the best.
Yeah.
We never learn.
I'm the same way. I'm like, all right, see you.
I'm out. I'll be out in 2 seconds.
Yeah. It ain't meant to be.
No, not at all. Mike, you got anything on the Omen?
Yeah, I mean, there's nothing else to really cover. I mean, we kind of just covered all the curses and shit. But I think I lived in a haunted house, though.
You think you did? Okay.
I believe I lived in a haunted house.
Well, let us know.
So there was 3 of us in the house when we got it. And there was just down the basement, it felt like there was a little presence of something down there. And it was one of those old kind of dirt basements. Now, the weird thing is, the 4th step going up the stairs to the bedrooms, you always tripped. No matter how, you always tripped if you weren't paying attention.
Right.
That 1 step got everybody. Okay. The middle bedroom was hot as hell all the time when somebody was in there. When somebody moved out of that middle bedroom, the room became cold.
That's weird.
Yeah. So, last thing, right before we were moving out, we had everything packed. We're sitting there, the last things to take was the TV and everything like that. We're watching it that night. The next day we were leaving. Well, we hear crash, crunch, crunch. What the hell was that? So walk towards the kitchen. I don't see nothing. All of a sudden, I see in the downstairs bathroom, there's water leaking from the toilet. The whole toilet, just that second as I looked at it, just completely just fell apart.
Wow.
So it was almost like nobody was on it. No. I mean, I could see if I was on it at the time, man, because I'm a toilet wrecker. But no, man, this thing just on its own just fell right apart. It just crumbled. Never saw anything like it in my life.
Wow.
I believe that weird shit, man. I mean, honestly, it's like I've experienced it quite a few times in homes I lived in. Actually, the last house I lived in had a place with my brother, and one time I'm asleep and I wake up in the middle of the night, and there's this it's fucking weird. I know there's a lot of jokes here, but I wake up and there's an Asian woman standing on my chest. She's wearing a black dress and she's looking down at me and was creeped the fuck out of me. And I know I wasn't like in a dreamy haze. It was just like, I'm getting goosebumps even thinking about it. And then I closed my eyes and opened up, and she wasn't there. Another occasion, with my friend in the house, getting ready to go out, TV's off, and then the TV just automatically comes on. And my brother experienced stuff like banging, heavy banging, in the middle of the night. I didn't never heard that, but just having some chick stand on me while I'm sleeping. It doesn't sound so bad. But
some people pay a lot of money for that. You know that.
You said it was an Asian woman. Did you get a happy ending? Was it a happy ending?
I know there's some jokes in there, but
I definitely thought the happy ending was coming. I thought there was a punchline there somewhere.
It was scary, man.
Man, yeah, all that stuff's creepy, and it's weird. Is that I guess it's a human thing where we'll dabble and we're all interested in it, but it scares the fuck out of all of us. But we're still, we'll watch it.
Oh yeah. I love all that paranormal stuff.
Oh yeah, because you don't know if it's true or
Yeah.
it's not true. I mean, do you think after you're gone, do you think you come back? What do you guys think?
I don't know, man. I mean,
maybe not all the time. I guess it depends.
Mike, what do you think?
We're getting into shit like deja vu now and stuff like that. But there's definitely things like as you go through life, at least for me, and it's like I've been here before, but in this body, I know I've never been there. So,
right, yeah. If I was here before, I don't remember. So so it's some weird shit though. If you really think about it, it's some.
It could be like a video game. We plug in each time to a new type of video game, so it's not always the same chapter. So it might be the same people behind different characters, but
we might be a big video game that somebody's playing. Is that what you're saying, Mike?
That could be it.
So somebody could be controlling us right now, like we're in some video game or something like that.
Well, we could be controlling us.
Really?
We just don't remember we plugged into the video game.
I'd make myself a little thinner, just a little bit.
Well, it's what you project. So this could be your inner projection.
Oh fuck!
So I'm what I look like. You look like. Damien's what he looks like. And we could even be playing a video game inside the video game for all we know. Let's get deeper there.
Why does he get the best of it? Why is he making out on the deal? He's got the hair. How's he making out on the deal? What about me?
I guess I guess I did good things in my past life.
Yeah, you might be bald next time you come back.
Yeah.
I'm going to remind you when we do this again in the future. I'm going to remind you. Hey, Dame, remember when you had that whole head of hair? Oh man! All right, let's move on to the next one. The Exorcist. Damo, walk us through.
Yeah, there was another one, man. This is probably, I know this is like one of your favorite movies.
The scariest movie I've ever seen.
I think it's the scariest movie ever, and nothing will ever come close to it. I mean, it's just everything about it, man. It's just it took me up until maybe the past year. I couldn't watch a movie straight. I would have to watch it. I have to watch it in pieces because it was just like, okay, I
can't handle it.
Yeah, I know.
It fucks with you, man.
There was, and That's what I say, man. You screw around with that devil shit. People are going to laugh at me and stuff. But hey, look, all this stuff happens in these movies. Like there was accidents, a lot of on-set accidents. There was a fire where it burned down like a portion of the set. Everything burned down except Reagan's bedroom.
Yeah, that's true. Before they even started shooting. Yeah.
The radiologist in the movie, one of the scenes where she's in the hospital, one of the guys in the background, after the film was made, he wound up, murdering somebody.
And he was a worker. He was just there as part of a worker. He was just one of the workers there.
Right. Yeah. Some of those guys, were actually, legitimate hospital workers. But I mean, some of the stuff, I guess, could just be a weird coincidence like that. But
yeah. That's fucking weird.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's all about the energy, though, man. You're like Damien said, you're messing around with that stuff, and you get a bunch of people like they're all like kind of like focused on the energy around the movie, which could just bring out shit in its own.
They could fuck with you, I'm sure.
So, yeah.
I'm sure.
Well, they had a guy on the Shudder documentary about all the curse movies. I don't know if it was the Omen or the Exorcist, but one guy said something. I'm just paraphrasing, something along the lines like, "You know what? If you believe in something, you come in with some sort of protection. But if some people don't believe in anything,
right?
Shit's coming down.
Absolutely, man. But there was a lot of injuries on The Exorcist too. A lot of people got and deaths. People got. Two of the actors, the guy who played
Linda Blair was one of them.
Burt Dennings, who played Burt Dennings, and the lady who was the other one's the older lady in the film. They both passed away after their scenes, pretty much.
Oh yeah. Well, as far as injuries, Linda Blair, the scene where she's in bed rocking back. I mean,
her back got messed up. Yeah.
Yeah, she said she fractured her spine or something doing that.
Well, I mean, we're not meant to be doing all those convulsions.
No, but there was something that was kind of making her do that, but then that whatever it was, some sort of machine was kind of like pulling her to do that. At one point it broke and she was actually doing it on her own, and that's how she fractured her spine.
Yeah, man. You fuck with that shit. That's what happens, man.
Yeah.
You paid.
She didn't have much of a career after that, really, either, too.
No, she did a couple things, but nothing really big. I met her a couple years ago, and she's really big in the saving dogs and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I think she got, I don't know if it's Linda Blair Foundation or something like that, where she tries to help, dogs and stuff like that and rescues them and all that stuff. So, yeah, she's it's pretty crazy. Went up to go meet her, and she was kind of like off. She was getting ready to leave, but we started talking about the dog thing. And then she stuck around for a little bit, so that was cool. But she was actually pretty nice. But yeah, dude, she even had to have bodyguards around her when she was a kid after the movie because people were so nuts about it.
They probably thought she was possessed after that.
Yeah, man. People are crazy as it is, let alone seeing that stuff. That makes it even wackier. And back then, it was different than now.
Yeah, well, they built up a lot of hype around it. I guess in a bad way. Like they were saying that if you go see a movie, you're going to, people are going to throwing up and getting sick, and
they were. Which is crazy.
Yeah, but that also builds up a lot of the hype.
It's a mind thing too. Yeah.
So yeah.
But look at it though. Back then though, man, like they were doing shit like it wasn't even like the special effects we had now. There was no computer generated stuff. Yeah. It was all
man-made.
I mean, and it still looks good. Looks good to this day.
It does. Yeah. It does.
Well, real quick story was our buddy Frankie Meatball, who's been on. He told me a story back in the early 70s. He used to be friendly with Black Sabbath because they used to come into the Spectrum. His dad used to work down at the Spectrum, and his dad became really good friends, like for real. Right. And he took them to go see he took the band to go see The Exorcist. And he said, like, halfway through the movie, Ozzy ran out of the movie theater, like freaked out. He couldn't even finish.
That's pretty funny.
That's pretty good. Yeah. Yeah, man. But
the King of Darkness.
Yeah, Prince of Darkness.
Prince of Darkness.
Yeah, man. There's so much stuff around that movie, but that's definitely, scariest movie I ever seen. I was sick
Yeah.
for 2 weeks after I watched that movie. I thought something was wrong with me.
Yeah.
Oh man, Mike, you want to add anything?
Yeah, I didn't watch that movie until I was actually an adult. That's how scared of that movie I was.
Wow,
So yeah, I kind of just passed on watching that altogether when I was a kid.
wow.
I saw parts of it, and I'm like, man, if I watch this, I'm just not going to sleep.
Right.
So,
Yeah,
and sure enough, you watch that movie even as an adult for the first time, you're like, kind of,
Yeah.
I don't want to be alone after this movie.
Yeah,
Yeah. It took me years to finish it.
Wow. Yeah, I mean,
straight through.
I think, and they always keep talking about remaking it, but I don't think they'll ever remake that.
You should.
I hope not.
Not the original,
Yeah, they made like
You can't.
I mean, there's different like spin-offs of it and origin prequels and stuff like that, but you just can't. I mean, there's nothing.
I can't see them redoing that and pulling it off. That's hard. Yeah, that's that's a tall order to try and pull that off. Because the acting was phenomenal too. All the acting was good.
Yeah, it was great, and
they had great actors.
When she's possessed, her voice. Oh man, it's just fucking creepy.
Yeah. Well, they said the actor who, I think she passed away not too long after that either. The actor that they used for the voicing.
Yeah,
forget her name, but they said that she did cigarettes, whiskey, raw egg.
Yeah.
They said when she would talk, it sounded like there was triple voices coming out. It was all
right. Yeah,
insane, man. But yeah, scariest movie ever. Okay, let's move on to another strange one. The Twilight Zone, the movie. What do you got, Damo?
Yeah, this is probably the first movie that popped into my head. This and Poltergeist. Like when you talk about curse movies, like I've always heard about this. There was the guy, the actor Vic Morrow. There was a scene with a helicopter crash, and they said that he was holding these two kids or something, or they were extras or something,
rescuing them.
Rescuing them. They wound up getting killed in that, in that scene. I think some other crazy shit, but that's the one that kind of stuck out.
Oh, that was a big thing. That's when they changed a lot of that stuff for the safety stuff with helicopters and stuff. There was like the effects team or whatever, set up a bunch of effects, and the main guy, wanted to, he was precise, but there was another company that came in that did some different things. And what happened was, I think the helicopter was too close to the effects going off, and I guess the plane or the helicopter crashed, and it was bad. It was bad, but and they're saying that they had two kids that weren't even legit, working because they weren't part of the union or whatever, because you couldn't work after a certain time, and they shot everything late. So that was crazy. And they said that movie, definitely cursed. Definitely cursed. Mike, anything on this one?
Yeah, I actually liked that movie a lot. Growing up, that was one of my favorite movies.
Yeah, it was good.
Yeah.
Well, they put the guy's like a bigot, right?
I'm trying to think.
I think he's a bigot. They put him in scenarios.
Yeah. So that was probably my least favorite one out of them, I think.
That part, yeah.
That one I really don't even remember, to tell you the truth, but I remember just about every other episode.
Every other episode in there. Yeah. I mean, did they keep some of that footage in there? I don't remember, to be honest.
I got to go back and watch that now. I don't know.
They usually don't, though. I don't know.
I would. Yeah, I wouldn't think they would, but companies and budget, who the hell knows,
Yeah. Back then, who knows, right?
Back then, who knows? But yeah, the Twilight Zone, scary movie, man. Even like the TV shows were great.
Yeah.
Always interesting to watch. Pretty twisted. This is probably my second favorite movie on the list. And what a story this is, The Crow. What do you got, Damo?
Yeah, I started watching it again today because I haven't seen it in years. But it is good, man. It's really really dark, and there was it's a shame because Brandon Lee was like really starting to come up. I think he did a movie right before this one that I remember. I can't remember the name for some reason.
The one with Dolph Lundgren in it? Rapid Fire? Or no, there's another one. Rapid Fire.
That's one. So that was like, it was starting to build a buzz, and then this was going to come out, and I love Bruce Lee. I still do. But
Yeah.
You always would like to see like their kids kind of
Sure, follow in their footsteps.
follow their footsteps, pick up where they left off. But it's a shame. Like, so I mean, the biggest thing was that he was killed. They were supposed to use dummy rounds and a gun and want killing him. But then there was like other shit that I was reading. Somebody left a voicemail message like before the movie was starting, warning the crew not to shoot the movie because bad things are going to happen. And there was a couple on set electricians involved in an accident. They ran over a live wire. And one guy like lost both of his ears. It's like crazy, man. It's
yeah. How about you, Mike? Anything on this?
No, I mean, believe it, I only saw this movie a couple of times, but there was a lot of things even with his father's that was even kind of like on the curse side, if I remember. Like they were saying like somebody gave him that little, was that death knock or something like that? You hit him in a certain spot, and like it could trigger something. Like a couple days later, you just drop dead. Yeah.
Well, I even heard the Chinese mafia could have been for him teaching stuff to other
secrets
people
and stuff.
Yeah,
right. Because back then that was like
taboo. It was taboo.
You didn't teach anybody outside of like your family, like especially Americans karate.
Right.
Because he was responsible for bringing it here and really elevating it.
Mm-hmm.
He had, before he was an actor, he had a place in San Francisco or Seattle, I forget, but he had like a kung fu dojo, and he was like he created his own called Jeet Kune Do, which is basically sort of like MMA. It mixes martial arts and boxing, and he's like one of the forefathers of MMA, pretty much. But they were saying like he was cursed because of that and other stuff. But
you think they could carry down like a generation, or even
did you guys see the movie?
Your kids and your kids' kids if we have to.
Did you guys see the movie The Dragon? The story about Bruce
No,
Lee?
I haven't.
Mm-hmm. Okay, that actually plays a lot into it. They talk about, like there's this demon that's after the firstborn son or something like that. And and they're pretty much, they send him to America, or they would, to hide him pretty much. They would dress him in like girls' outfits and stuff when he was a kid. Yeah. And that all played in the movie. If you've never seen the movie, Bruce Lee, The Dragon Story, great movie.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if that came out before Brandon passed or not.
I think it came out in 90. I think it came out before. Came out in 93.
Which is even weirder, which makes it even weirder, right?
Yeah.
So that's pretty strange, man. And also, in one of Bruce Lee's films, he plays a guy playing in a movie that gets shot with a real bullet instead of a dummy bullet, which is crazy.
Yeah,
that's even crazier.
Yeah,
that's right. Because, but the thing is, I think that one is that's The Game of Death, which was filmed. Half of it was filmed before, obviously before he died, but I think it was before Enter the Dragon, which was like his last film that he. So like before he did Enter the Dragon, he filmed like a lot of the scenes for Game of Death, and then after Enter the Dragon, he was going to go back and finish it. Obviously, that didn't happen because he died right after Enter the Dragon. So they had like doubles kind of finish the movie, but they added that in, that he was an actor and got shot. So that's
crazy. That's wild. Yeah.
Yeah.
And they're saying that what happened was that I guess they sent home the special effects team early and they used some, I guess, cheaper workers or whatever. And they said that one of the guns, I think when you fire like a dummy, there was still some piece of the cartridge still in there. And that's what happened where, I think it was still a fake bullet, but whatever was left in there from the other one kind of pushed through and it gave, and it hit, and it still floated or whatever. But yeah, dude, it's crazy now. It's crazy.
Why even have hey, we're going to load it now, but we're not going to load it for this. Like, why even do that though?
I don't know what happened. Something happened on the production. I mean, they blamed the crew somehow,
Well, somebody's got to get the blame for that. I mean,
they said there was something in the barrel of the gun that actually acted as the lethal projectile.
Yeah. Yeah. That's
it could have been a small fragment of something, but with the dummy bolt pushed out. And,
it still hit.
That's such a freak thing,
I mean, that's a shame. That kid was going to be huge, man. And that movie, he's so good in that movie.
Yeah.
I mean, I love that movie. I love it, but it's a shame. He was definitely. I think he was definitely going to be big because he was outstanding in that.
Well, didn't he never finished it? So they had to use like body doubles, right?
Just
Or
near
something?
some parts. Most of it was finished.
Most
I
of it's
think,
done.
You know.
Yeah.
But and then I don't know how true the rumor was. They're saying that the scene that he was supposed to get shot in was the scene that, like the scene that he died in was supposed to be the scene he was supposed to die in, which is kind of weird too.
Yeah, well, he's getting shot throughout the whole movie. It's like they shoot him and he heals up. So I don't even know what scene it was,
But yeah, if anybody's never seen that movie, definitely check out that movie. It's such a good movie. Okay, let's move on to Poltergeist. Dane, what you got?
Yeah, well, this is the whole trilogy. It's like a lot of crazy shit happened. Four cast members died soon after filming the series. One of them was Carol Ann.
Yeah, what was her name? Something O'Rourke.
Carol Ann, Heather O'Rourke.
Heather O'Rourke.
Yeah.
She died. The older sister died.
Yeah, that was fucked up. Yeah.
The creepy dude from part 2, I think.
The
Kane.
What was he, Mike? He was
like
preacher guy.
The preacher
right?
guy. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, in all honesty, that guy was dying when he did
He
this.
was
No.
Fucking Mike.
No.
Yeah.
He was like riddled with cancer when he did that scene. And
Okay.
it kind of just like, he pretty much knew that was like the last thing he was going to do anyway. I think.
Yeah.
So he was sick. He was actually sick.
Yeah.
I was
I think-
going to add that. I mean, some of these guys were old anyway. It's like,
Yeah.
and
But
the
he-
Native American shaman, he also died. After
The Indian guy.
Yeah.
I know that the rumor was Zelda Rubinstein died, but that's not true because she just died, I think, within the last few
Yeah.
years.
Who was that? The short lady?
Yeah.
Carol Ann.
Yeah. She played like the psychic or whatever, right?
Yeah.
Wow.
Wasn't she was a cute little lady, wasn't she? So you just
Oh,
want
she
to
was
grab
great.
her. You just want to grab her in the cheeks.
Grab her in the cheeks.
And say, hello, scary grandma.
But one of the things that I found out, I remember hearing about this years ago. Remember at the end scene in the first movie where they're in this like new development and everything is going crazy. It's raining at the end, and then there's like a big hole in the backyard. It was like they were going to build a pool.
Oh, the pool, yeah.
And all the skeletons come up. Well, they were actually real skeletons.
They used to use real skeletons. Yeah.
Yeah.
What was cheaper?
Yeah. I could see that. Yeah.
Right. I'm out.
Yeah.
Yeah, you could use my bones, but I'll probably be cremated.
The movie's cursed. Let's not make one, two, but three.
What about? There's another one though. The poster one. Did you know about that one?
No.
So in Robbie's room, he has a poster for Super Bowl 22. Now, this was like 6 years before Super Bowl 22.
Oh, really? That's fucking weird.
The day after Super Bowl 22, that's when Heather O'Rourke died.
Oh shit!
Wow. And supposedly it was the same team that was on the poster. The same place they actually had the game too.
How did he have a poster from the future?
I don't know. They did like a futuristic kind of thing.
They must have did it like it was I don't know, but this is just something I read. So I don't know if anybody else has read anything on that too. But
that's pretty interesting.
Yeah, that's interesting. It's definitely.
I have to do a little fact check on that one.
I know. I'm getting ready to do
that.
We'll circle back to it.
Yeah, you have to send in the Macanini.
Here we go.
Fact check it.
Eerie Super Bowl poster. You probably never noticed.
You found it.
I found something. Yeah.
I'm gonna try and find it later.
Let's see what we got here. In 1982 was the 16th Super Bowl. I bring this up because blah, blah, blah. There's a poster for 1988 Super Bowl 22, which was 6 years away. Right.
Oh.
That's pretty odd. Why would a 1982 movie have a poster for an 88 Super Bowl? I have no idea.
That is pretty weird now when you
That's
think
pretty
about
weird.
it.
Yeah, but yeah, everything.
I'm gonna
Mike
try and
says-
find the poster and post it.
Huh? That's crazy.
That's the weirdest thing so far that we talked about. That's strange. That's pretty strange.
It's nuts.
Wow, man. But I did like all the Poltergeist movies, at least the first three. You know, I was a fan.
I
of those.
love the first two. The third one was, but man, those first two were just awesome.
They were good.
I got to go back and watch that second one again.
I won't even watch the remake.
I have the remake. I
didn't
never
see
watched it.
Yeah,
I have it. I
haven't
never
watched
watched it. Yeah, you haven't watched it either.
No.
So yeah, I haven't never watched it.
You know what the freaky thing about that was too, man? Because like I had like a lot of toys and shit growing up, and remember that scene in Robbie's room where all the toys are spinning around in that circle? I think I had about 3 or 4 of them things. I know I had the Hulk. I had that Pegasus from Clash of the Titans.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I'm like, now I'm fucking scared of these toys over here.
How about the tree outside of his room?
Yeah, the crazy tree, the clown.
You know, my first house that I lived in was my house. Then we had the yard, it was actually a driveway. Then the yard, and after the yard, a few feet was a creek. On the other side of the creek was a cemetery. Man, if I didn't move away from there by the time I saw my first horror, I would have been like a shit wreck as a kid growing up next to a cemetery.
Yeah, man.
So,
crazy shit.
I wouldn't have been able to see Poltergeist and lived in that house anymore.
Yeah, it freaks you out, man. That shit freaks you out.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Let's move on to Rosemary's Baby. What you got, Damo?
I mean, again, screw around to the devil, man.
Yep.
I mean, Roman Polanski's wife was Sharon Tate, and she was married. She was murdered by the Manson family after the movie, and that's a pretty big one right there. And then something else like the film composer died
right
after the movie, and I'm sure there's some other stuff, but that might have been like one of the earliest movies where it was like, direct like Satanism in it,
Oh yeah, definitely. And yeah, there was a lot of weird shit with that one, man. Like I said, people just kept passing. They had the one guy, I don't know if it was the producer or the director, they said that he went in the hospital for like kidney stones or something, but he was having these hallucinating dreams like she does in the movie of the hallucination parts, which so that was probably wacky,
There was also a Beatles connection with John Lennon. Did you hear about that?
No.
About the movie? Well, because it was filmed, or was based on the Dakota where he lived, and I'm just starting to remember some things about it. But the friggin' nutcase that killed Lennon, it was at the same place. That
it was the building, right?
Yeah. Dakota.
Shit, yeah.
Huh.
Yeah, it was at that building.
Yeah, he said that something told him to do it or whatever. It's just
it's a little
kinds of crazy shit linked to it.
Yeah, it was crazy. Mike, anything else on Rosemary's Baby?
I don't think I've ever seen this movie.
Never.
No, but I mean,
it was pretty good.
Like, just the whole Polanski stuff in general. Like, I remember seeing a documentary about it. Just the whole Polanski thing is crazy.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, he touched a lot of strange subjects in a career anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Was that him? The Eyes Wide Shut? Was that him too?
I don't know if that was him. That was Stanley Kubrick.
It was like Kubrick.
Maybe?
I keep getting them confused.
Right.
Yeah,
I think that's who that was.
But
that
yeah,
was movie.
There was definitely a lot of weird stuff going on with Polanski.
Yeah, man. Can't fuck with that shit. Here goes a strange one. Because Damien put it on his list. I never heard about it. I actually had to look it up. A Took. This, if I'm saying it right, this was strange. Dame, what'd you read about this one?
Well, I was just reading. It was never made.
No.
So I guess they're like, you know what? All this crazy shit, it's not meant to be. But just reading about the movie, it kind of reminds me of sort of like Crocodile Dundee, where as far as like the movies, the story, they get this guy from the outback in Australia, they bring him into New York, and he's just like kind of like shocked. But a movie was based on a I don't know if I'm saying this right, Inuit, indigenous people, and in Alaska, Eskimos, I guess, and they want to bring one of them to Toronto or big city like New York, whatever. Sort of like Crocodile Dundee. I don't know the rest of it, but
it's supposed to be a comedy, which is crazy.
It's supposed to be a comedy, just like that movie. But they're trying to get all these trying to make it for years, since like 1970. John Belushi, he was signed on to do it. He died. Sam Kinison signed on, died. John Candy died. Chris Farley, and then Phil Hartman, Michael O'Donoghue. I mean, it's like, I guess after all that, it's like,
well, I mean, Phil Hartman's probably thinking, he's like, I'm probably like the only guy that's doing it that's not fat. So
right.
So, but shit, wow.
Yeah. That's wild. Yeah, I don't know much more about that than what Damon just said. Mike, you have anything else on that? It's pretty much what I know.
I never heard of that before.
But I never even heard of the movie. But they said the screenplay is totally fucking cursed.
Yeah.
And anybody that touches it don't last,
Right.
Yeah. It's like if you go on a job interview and they say, the 3 guys that had this job before you all died mysteriously. Do you want the job? Yeah, sure.
Exactly.
Hey, hey, Sam Kinison, John Belushi he can't make this film. He passed away. You want to do it? Yeah, okay. Hey, John Candy, John Belushi signed on. He's dead. Sam Kinison, he's dead. Do you want to take it? Yeah, sure. Hey, Chris Farley.
yeah.
Belushi can't do it. Kinison can't do it. John Candy, they all died. You want to do it? Yeah, okay. How'd that sound like a great idea?
Yeah. I don't know, man. I don't know. Well, let's move on to this. This one's got some strange shit in it. Passion of the Christ.
Yeah, the only thing I really know is I know the actor Jim Caviezel. He got like a lot of injuries. I think he was struck by lightning
twice. I think twice.
Twice.
And the director said twice. Once is crazy.
Yeah. And he was like really the scene where they're whipping him. He like really got injured. That could just be like a fluke to me, but I don't know.
That's a lot of fucking bad luck, though.
Yeah.
How about you, Mike? Anything on?
Yeah, well, I mean, when you're up there on a cross, the chances of getting hit by lightning's got to be higher.
Yeah.
So,
oh man.
But
I don't know. I never even seen the movie. Believe it or not, I never seen it.
Really? It was good. It was good.
I thought we saw it together. No.
No.
I thought I could have sworn I saw the movies with you.
No, I didn't see it.
Because
Michelle went. Maybe Michelle went and her sister and all. And you maybe went.
Maybe it was Angel I saw with. I don't know.
Maybe it
Angel,
wasn't me.
I think it might have been Angel and Ernie.
And the only reason why I didn't see it is because I thought you had to read a lot of shit. So I didn't feel.
I mean, it's just like
probably why.
It's just like everybody's like was like, oh, you can't hate this. It's the movie about Jesus, but it was like. It was like a slab of pornography in a certain sense.
It was that bad? Wow.
Yeah, it was like I think the torture scene was like almost like a half hour. I could be exaggerating, but they were really torturing the fuck out of him.
It was out of hand, yeah.
I mean,
that was brutal.
I thought it was unnecessary. I mean, let's not. Even Mel Gibson went crazy after that film. If he wasn't all but
he caught a lot of bad luck after that too. Yeah,
that's true. Yeah. I'm not like this, super religious guy and everything, but the movie I thought really was good. I mean, and like Mike said, like, where he's getting tortured, like he's getting whipped. They're whipping him. I mean, you see parts of his flesh as the whip comes up.
Yeah, man. It was like it was a lot to watch.
Flying
it was a lot to watch.
Yeah, I never seen it, man. But you had to read through the whole thing pretty much, right? Or no?
I don't remember, maybe, but I actually.
None of it was in English.
Yeah,
it was all subtitled.
If you're gonna do a movie like based in Europe or Asia or something, I want realism, man. I don't mind reading the subtitles. The worst thing is seeing a movie that's based like in Rome and you see these Italians speaking in British accents. That doesn't,
Dane, that's a great segue into our next movie.
You know what though?
Great segue. Good, Mike.
Yeah.
Because like to me, I don't mind the subtitles if I'm watching something at home. But when I'm watching the movie theater, it's like they put the lights out. You're in those comfy chairs, like leaning back now, and reading puts you to sleep anyway.
Yeah.
And I don't even need the reading in the movie theater to fall asleep anymore.
Right.
That's like to me. I go in a movie theater, and usually I got a good 2 hours of sleep. But reading, right out.
Well, speaking of things that aren't too authentic, the Conqueror, John Wayne playing Genghis Khan.
Yeah, That's just hilarious.
There
right
you
there.
go. I
Genghis
go,
Khan.
Yeah. So, wow.
Yeah, we're just gonna give you a Fu Manchu,
It did.
mustache.
Hey, they did it back. Hey, look at wrestling, man. Chief J Strongbow was an Italian guy playing an Indian.
Really? I never knew that one either.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it's
It was different back then, man.
yeah. I mean, hey guys, let's go. We got this great site, tons of land. It's they just test nuclear bombs. It'll be okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hit the people who made the movie while I'm dying from cancer.
Yeah.
Wayne died from cancer, right?
Yeah, almost the whole. They said I
But
think
he smoked like crazy. I think he had lung cancer.
what about 200 people or something like that? Like 250 of the cast died of cancer.
Yeah, it's the biggest. They say it's like, if talking about cursed movies, this is probably like the biggest one as far as like casualties.
Yeah.
I just think it's more stupidity than
Right.
anything. It's like, but they didn't really know back then. I mean, when was it made, in the 50s or something, or 60s maybe? But it's pretty stupid.
Yeah.
I'm sure they probably knew. You probably saw like half of the guys doing the camera work and shit wearing radiation suits, and they're like, "Why are these guys wearing radiation suits?"
Yeah,
It's just part of it's from the cameras. It's saving us from the cameras over here. Yeah.
But back then,
They
they
did it 'cause
didn't know that
cheap.
much back then, though,
No.
right? How long was that made? In the 50s, maybe?
I think the late 50s. I think, but
Yeah,
they were
I
really
never seen it.
they were really big with that stuff back then. All that nuclear bomb, they had to know.
Yeah.
You could say if it was like in the 30s or something, it might have been different. 1956, that movie was.
What wasn't that? It was 56. Wasn't that what The Hills Have Eyes was kind of based on? Like,
Yeah,
you're right. Where there was like landfills or whatever they call it. Where nuclear power plants or
yeah.
That would not that mixes in with this, but that was a crazy movie back in the day when that first came out.
I vaguely remember that. I remember it being pretty like kind of realistic, if I remember.
It was crazy.
Like, yeah.
It's weird.
Yeah, well, this Conquer was a Howard Hughes film. That's
Oh wow.
You mean like the millionaire crazy Howard Hughes?
yeah. Well, he came from Hollywood. He was like an actor and then a movie maker, and then he got crazy and shit. But
He was the one that used to wear the
nuts, man.
tissue boxes on his feet, right?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Dan, so 91 people developed cancer and 46 died from it.
Wow.
It's nuts, man.
Yeah, and it had. I mean, come on, that can't just be a coincidence, right?
Nah.
That can't be a coincidence.
Nah.
All right, let's go with that. I'm gonna go with Mike first on this one. Wizard of Oz, Mike. What do you got on the Wizard of Oz?
Oh, there was just a lot of shit on this one. I mean, even going back to the first guy they cast, the Tin Man, and he was allergic to the makeup, and he got sick from it. I think it burned his skin, and I know there was a case with I can't even remember her real name, but the witch, the Wicked Witch,
Yeah.
where she got set on fire.
Oh, and that scene where she puffs up. I think of that scene where she
Yeah.
smoke comes
And
up.
I'm not sure. I think I heard in the documentary they still made her put the makeup on, even though she was trying to not put it on after that,
Really?
or something like that. And
Brutal.
I don't know if she was complaining so much, but she got blackballed out of like Hollywood after that.
Really? Wow. That's great. You got anything else on the Wizard of Oz thing?
But there was
The same
oh,
thing.
go ahead.
Same thing you got? Yeah, Mike, what are you gonna say, Mike?
I heard like the actors that were in the Monkeys were like falling off wires, getting injured.
Yeah.
There was even, they say it's not true, but the one Munchkin supposedly hung himself in a scene, and you could still see it in the movie.
Yeah, and they keep saying it's not true though. Yeah, but who knows?
I watched it over and over again. I mean, it looks kind of odd, but I don't know.
Now, have you guys ever? I actually ordered this online. Somebody made it because they said it was like true or whatever, and it kind of works mostly. Did you ever try putting on Dark Side of the Moon with the Wizard of Oz and play at the same time?
I always wanted to. I never have.
I got a copy of it somewhere.
There's got to be a YouTube video where somebody does the whole
Probably.
thing. It's got to be.
Yeah, I've seen it before. I don't know. It wasn't what I expected, but I mean, it matches somehow.
It does match. And then when I think, what was it, Money? When the money comes on, it comes in color or something like that. It's something crazy.
Right.
Like
It's I don't know. Maybe I have to check it out again, but the time I watched it, I wasn't feeling it.
That was always the big rumor when we were teenagers. Yeah, man, let's go watch Wizard of Oz and put some Floyd on.
Yeah. Yeah, man.
And I was like, just put Floyd on. I don't even give a shit about the Wizard. Just put Floyd on.
So before we wrap up this segment, I want to ask you guys, what do you guys think of the Paranormal Activity series? Dame, I'll go with you first.
But the movie?
The movies, yeah.
I think I saw like the first 2 or 3 or something. I liked it, man. I like the whole idea of it. Like I said, man, those movies, they creep me the hell out, and they're my favorite movies to watch because I know they're going to scare me. Just all that paranormal stuff, probably because it's like there's like some truth behind it,
Right.
in my, if you believe. I mean, that could be anything, but yeah.
Yeah. What do you think, Mike?
Well, I think I only seen the first 2. Well, that tied into what? The one with the doll, too, right?
No, that was The Conjuring you're thinking of, with Annabelle and The Conjuring.
Is that The Conjuring?
Yeah. This one was the one where it was like a homemade movie almost.
Right.
Yeah, it was pretty wild. I seen that in the movie.
There was the one about the doll they made, I think was based off a true story, though.
Annabelle?
They all are, yeah.
There's this doll, it's called Robert. And this doll is supposed to be like a haunted doll. Like it's back from like maybe like the early like 19th century or something like that. This kid had the doll, and it would always be in different spots. And I think the doll might have killed like one of the maids or something like that. I heard.
That's like some puppet master shit.
Like this doll's in some kind of museum. It's like if you don't ask to take a picture, like you have to ask the doll to take a picture. And if you don't like it, you can become cursed. It's crazy looking. Look this thing up.
It could keep their dolls.
I'm just laughing at the name.
They even said like this doll was in some place and like it got set on fire, and this doll was like the only thing that was still alive, but the only thing that was still there after.
That's crazy, man.
Mm-hmm.
That's the funniest name for a doll.
Robert. Plain.
Hey, Robert. I don't make this up. Though. you could look it up. It's out there.
Oh, I believe you.
Was it Robert or Robin?
Robert.
That's some strange shit.
Man. So, that house burned down. Did you see Robert? Robert did it.
Motherfucker
Mommy,
does it all the time.
Goddamn doll.
Well, I ain't saying his name 3 times. Like Candyman. All that folklore stuff and screw all that, man. I want nothing to do with it. I want nothing to do with it.
I'm looking. There's a picture of this friggin' thing. It is creepy looking.
Really?
Yeah.
What's it look like?
He looks like a burned
like
victim.
A sailor, I think, right?
Basically a burned victim and a sailor.
What's it called? Robert doll?
Yeah, Robert the doll, dude. It's creepy.
Let me see what I got here.
Yeah.
Oh, yo, dude.
Picture of this.
You know what? I think you ever watch Ozzy and Jack's Adventures, whatever that show is called?
No, but I know what you're talking about.
That doll's in a couple of the episodes. They actually have that doll.
Really?
And it freaks out Ozzy, I think, 1,000 times. He's like, where that fucking doll is? Where's that doll at?
I heard about this. I don't know if you ever. I heard about this on Coast to Coast AM, like years ago. But
about the story,
if you never listened to that show, and what's that?
About the story you're talking about, yeah.
About the story of this doll, yeah. But Coast to Coast AM. If you ever listen to that, you want to like creep yourself out late hours at night. Find Coast to Coast AM, and they have some stuff on YouTube, but they usually have the radio show. I think it's on every night, like from like 12 to 2, 3 a.m.
That's probably even scary on the radio.
Yeah, it's something. They touch everything from like UFOs to hauntings.
I find that
animals.
stuff. I find that stuff scarier than the Jason stuff and all that crap, because that's something you can't control.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah, that's because it's different being or power or whatever you want to call it.
Oh, there was a movie too, The Curse of the Curse of Robert the Doll.
How long ago was that?
2016.
Oh, so wow, it's not that long ago.
It's just Robert is just a funny name for a doll. That's how I was cracking up. It doesn't
We got to
sound like.
figure out where it came from. The name came from. That's pretty wild. So I'm going to move on to the next segment here. Okay, so what we're going to do is I want to hit you with a Hollywood rumor, and you tell me what you guys think. You think it's true? It's not true? Could be true? So let's start off with the first one. Is Paul McCartney really dead? Was he replaced?
Yeah, he's dead.
You think
No
so,
way.
Dean?
No way. No.
I don't know,
People-
man.
Can't believe people believe that.
There's a lot of good backing to it.
I don't know.
There's a lot of good. What do you think, Mike?
There's some good backing to it. I don't know if I fully believe it. It's for a good story.
That's a great story. I mean, you read a lot of all that stuff lining up. I mean, people got great imaginations then, if not, supposedly he died going home from the studio. And I think what song was it that they said, where he's at the light? There was like a big car crash.
There was a lot of stuff in the song.
A Day in the
different
Life.
songs. Yeah.
I think it was.
There was the Abbey Road where he was walking barefooted.
Yeah.
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 But I don't know. I mean, it could be true and it could not be true. At the same time, it's like, we have overactive imagination sometimes. But look at that was like at the peak of their like greatness then. And like now they lose a member like Paul. It's like that could be the band just that's it. There's a lot of people making money off the Beatles at that point.
Yeah.
Right. So if something did happen to Paul, it wouldn't be abnormal for them to slide somebody else in there.
Yeah, we'll get Paul's twin, Johnny or
what was it? What was supposed to be the big band leader? Bill from the song. Bill Bailey. Was it Bill Bailey? Or something like that? Wow, that's just crazy. So, okay, we're gonna start with Dame. Is Paul dead?
No.
Mike D.
I'm gonna say no.
I'm gonna say no also. He's still there. It's a good story though. Okay, moving on to Dame. Stevie Wonder. Is he really blind? He's on the internet.
Yeah.
All right. Mike D.
Well, I'm going to be the one to say, okay.
The hell of a
I
joke.
heard he's blind. No, I heard he's blind. Now, I don't know. This last year, there's a video out there of Stevie Wonder playing in this like all-star band. I don't know if it's like the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame or one of those things, where all the superstars get up and jam to a song. And one of the performers elbows this mic stand, and Stevie Wonder catches it.
Might have good reflexes.
Well, I'm just saying, it's you watch it over and over again, and he just catches it like he's.
I don't know. I think, man, that's a hell of a gimmick to play for that long. If that was true,
Well, he might just not have full vision of his sight. And who knows? But
I think he's really blind. What do you think, Dave?
You got
a story?
Well, yeah. His buddy Lionel Richie thinks you could see.
No.
Yeah.
No. Wait, do some explaining. I want to hear this.
Wow. I've been
wow.
spending my whole life with him thinking he can see. I know he could see. Want to hear the new? I've gotten a car. Come on, go with me. He says, you sit in the passenger side. I'll sit in the driver's side, right? Stevie Wonder sits in the driver's side. He cranks the car up. He puts the tape in. Then he turns around. He starts driving down the driveway. Lionel Richie screams, Stevie, what are you doing? And he says, I got it.
Hoo-ah!
And he says, got you, didn't I? After he's driving, he says, he looks. That's funny, man.
Lionel Richie.
Lionel Richie says Stevie Wonder, he was driving with him, and Stevie turns to him and says, got you, didn't I?
Wow. That's
maybe that's funny.
So it's pretty much saying that Lionel thinks that he's pulling a gimmick on us.
Oh, yeah. Lionel Richie says, I know he could see. That's hilarious.
Wow. That's a
he
tough
wasn't
thing to
born
do for that
That's
long.
funny.
I'm going to say I think he's blind. What do you think, Dame, after reading that?
Yeah, I think he's blind.
Mike D.
I don't know. I'm just going to leave it at that. I don't know.
You don't know.
I don't know.
Maybe he's punking everybody.
That's a long time to stay in character, man. I don't know. That's tough. It would have came out.
Wouldn't that be like the funniest thing ever, though? If he actually like held a press conference like next week and said, "Hey,
I was just acting.
Just want to tell everyone I was just fucking with you." I can see.
Them's just jokes. Them's just jokes. Wow. Hey, and we're not making fun at him. We're just reading what the rumor is. That's all.
Yeah.
So no breaking my balls. All right. This is just the rumor stuff.
Wow.
All right. Here goes another one. Avril Lavigne died and was replaced by a lookalike. What do you think, Damo?
I don't know. Maybe she did. I wouldn't know.
I mean, she sold out. She's not the punker girl she was. She definitely sold out. But yeah, I don't know. I don't believe that.
Nah.
None of us believe that.
She's not that big of a mega star. Like, oh yeah, Avril Lavigne died. Oh my God, what are we gonna do? We got to find another one. Nah.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's a made up rumor.
One was enough.
Yeah. This is an interesting one. Andy Kaufman faked his death. What do you got, Damo?
Yeah, I read some stories about it. You know, a lot of people say that he would do it, and he's still with us. And you know, I don't know. I was talking to a buddy at work about this a couple of days ago. Like, you know, do you think anybody like a famous person actually really did fake their death? I mean, why not? I mean, somebody's had to have done it. You know?
Well, we always heard the Jim Morrison, Elvis Presley. We always heard that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But like, what was that movie, Mike? You're a fan of that movie that with Elvis. Hotep. I don't even know.
I wouldn't say I was a fan of that movie. I actually really didn't like that movie, but I knew Bruce Campbell was in it, and I kind of bought it when it came out on DVD. But basically, it was Bubba Hotep.
Bubba Hotep. What does that even mean?
So the premises was, I forget who the actor was. But it was
a Brad Pitt,
and he was John F. Kennedy. And he says, I'm John F. Kennedy. He was never shot in the head. He said they dyed my skin black. And the other guy in the bed was Elvis. So you had a black John F. Kennedy and an Elvis fighting a mummy.
Huh?
Yes. Well, the premise, basically, the story was Elvis Presley didn't want to be famous for a little bit. So he found this guy that looked like him. And he says, "You want to jump into my life for a while?" Made a contract with him. And this guy went on and toured as Elvis. So meanwhile, Elvis now living his normal life, his house burned down and his contract burned down with it. So when he tried to get back into life as Elvis, this guy's like, I'm enjoying this too much.
Huh.
And then Elvis went on living his normal life and was in an old age home and met a John F. Kennedy in there who was a black man.
Wow.
So then there was this mummy they were fighting. But it just really wasn't a good. It sounds like a great story on paper. But
what the hell were they thinking? Yeah, let's throw a mummy in it.
Yes, and the mummy was Bubba Hotep.
That was what the mummy. That's what the mummy's name was.
Was Bubba Hotep.
2002, Bubba Hotep. You know what? I've seen this like the movie poster before. That's funny.
That's crazy.
I got to see this now.
It wasn't the greatest of movies, like at least to me. I don't know. Maybe I have to watch it again, but it wasn't what I was expecting when I bought it.
Who played Elvis? Was it Kurt Russell or was
it? No, it was Bruce Campbell.
It was Bruce Campbell who played. Okay.
Ossie Davis played.
Ossie Davis. That's it.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's funny.
I never seen it. I always thought it was bizarre. I just didn't know that was a mummy. That's weird. All right, I got a good one for you because I read a little bit about this one before. Mr. Rogers wore sweaters to cover up his tattoos. Damo.
Don't laugh, man. Don't laugh.
I heard he was a badass, right?
That's what I heard. Mr. Rogers killed people.
He was a badass, I heard, Dame.
Yeah, man. He was like a Marine or something like that.
Yeah. I heard the same story. I heard him. I heard Captain Kangaroo was too a badass. I heard he was a badass too. I swear to God. You got to look it up. We're not making this up.
I don't know about the Captain Kangaroo one.
Look up somebody. Look up Dave. Look up the Captain Kangaroos.
And what was
I met him before, by the way.
what was Big Bird in the CIA or something?
You never know. No, really, honest to God, I heard Mr. Rogers was a badass.
Yeah, absolutely.
I heard the same thing.
Absolutely.
Okay.
We gotta look into it.
Don't laugh, man. He was a badass. When I come wear my Mr. Rogers shirt, don't come laughing at me.
I love Mr. Rogers.
If trouble came in the neighborhood, he'd say, "Not in this fucking neighborhood." You don't. That's what he would say. It's a beautiful day. That's what I heard. I swear, I heard the same thing, man.
Well, also, what's his name too? Well, I'm not even going to say it because you might bring it up too.
What's that? No, you can say
the painter guy was a badass. Bob Ross.
Really? Not? I didn't know.
Oh yeah, he was like a drill sergeant in the Marines or something like that.
Wow.
And then when he got out of the military, he vowed to live a peaceful life.
Wow, that's wild. We're gonna have Damon.
He just looked like a pot smoking hippie. For those years.
He had a hell of a fro for a white guy. He had a hell of a fro.
He was also a badass.
Wow. See, you never know. You never know. Here goes one that I don't believe at all. Marilyn Manson was the kid from Wonder Years.
I heard that before.
We know that.
I mean, there's definitely some kind of resemblance, but
there is.
No, that's been debunked.
Yeah,
totally debunked.
Yeah. How about this one? Walt Disney's body was frozen, and it's somewhere on Disneyland ground. That's a possibility.
Well, I heard he was actually his head was
frozen.
His head, yeah.
Nah, that was Ted Williams, wasn't it?
No, it was Walt.
They did that with Ted Williams.
I'm going to give you one I just heard on this one too. I heard the reason why they put out that Frozen. Well, I think it's from some kind of book from years ago, but they changed it to Frozen because so many people were looking up about Walt Disney's frozen head that Disney company wanted to put out this movie Frozen. So when you put Frozen and Disney together, you didn't get Walt Disney's head frozen.
That's crazy.
I don't know, but that's what I heard.
Yeah, well, they said that he was cremated and his ashes were in Forest Lawn Cemetery, but there was a rumor that he was frozen, and his frozen corpse was under the Pirates of the Caribbean ride.
That's just crazy.
I don't know. I believe that he might have had his head cut off and frozen. Who knows? Yeah, I mean, you never know. It was like back then. That's when they were just starting to think about if you could, cryogenically freeze something and come back years later. So who knows what these millionaires with all this money wants to do? I don't know. I kind of believe it.
How about this one? Nicolas Cage is a vampire.
He definitely sucks the life out of a fucking movie, though. So, maybe.
Oh my God, yeah.
But no, I mean, this comes from something because there's like pictures like these. I don't know if it's like around. There's like 3 or 4 different pictures of like Nicolas Cage throughout history. You can look this up, and like they're saying like he's either some kind of time traveler or he's a vampire that's just like changing identity so many years. I think Keanu Reeves, they're saying, is one of them. There's a few actors and stuff like you could go back and find these pictures of them, and it's like almost it's just like a spitting image of them.
Nicolas Cage denies vampire accusations. I don't drink blood.
Well, I mean, come on, you're going to say, yeah, I'm a vampire? Well, yes, I'm a vampire. Now he's going to have people trying to stake him now. Come on.
This is kind of funny, though. Well, David Letterman questioned him because there's a photo from 1870.
That looks like him, yeah.
Dude, it looks just like him.
Just like him, yeah.
It's crazy.
Wow.
That is nuts.
How about this one? Larry King kept a fan under his desk to blow away his farts.
I could believe that.
I believe that. Yeah, I can believe that.
Yeah. That's kind of funny.
Wow.
I got to try that one.
Yeah, that's yeah.
You just blow him in a direction.
You know what though? I mean, I think that's true because if he has guests on the show, maybe he has a problem where he farts a lot.
He could. And, I mean, definitely.
You don't.
Look, man,
I'm sorry.
There's
people?
You
I
need
can
a
believe
pretty
it.
power. I could see maybe getting something like, a vacuum up your ass and suck it out there and kill the smell. But I'm sorry, that fan's just going to spread it. You can't blow a fart away with a fan.
You can blow it the opposite direction, like have it underneath
It just
the
go,
seat,
nah.
blowing
It
that
just
way.
you can't. It just makes it go everywhere. I'm going to test this one. Trust me, I'm going to test this one.
Don't be fucking
The
testing
summer is
around in
coming
the
up.
room.
The summer is coming up, and I ain't going to test this one.
I mean, come on.
Yeah.